Hi, everybody. A good Thursday afternoon? What am I doing? It's Friday afternoon. No, try not to give us an extra day. The weekend is here. Summer solstice is happening right now. Today is the longest day of 2025 in the northern hemisphere. The sun is directly overhead at noon. It was earlier today on the Tropic of Cancer. From here on out, the days get a little shorter. You don't notice it at all for the next several weeks, but as you get into July and August, you notice the days sun starts to set a little earlier, and eventually we go headlong into a bitter cold winter. Mostly quiet, hot weekend, hot and humid weekend. Heat indexes each day, Saturday and Sunday, will be over 100, so drink water, take breaks, check on each other. Rain chances are going to ramp up big time next week. We're going to have a wet week of weather next week, so enjoy the weekend. Saturday, sun and clouds is the best way to describe it other than hot and humid. High temp goes up to 95 on Saturday. No surprises. Sunday, there is a slight chance for a stray storm. We'll still go to 95. Heat index 104, 105, 106. Below heat advisory criteria both days. But again, maybe a stray storm on Sunday. There will be a south breeze at 10 to 15, gusting to 20 down on the coast. And in fact, if you're going to the beach, great beach weekend. However, waves are a little busy. 3 to 4 foot seas, waves in the near shore waters of the Gulf on that south wind at 10 to 15 over the weekend. So this will create a moderate rip current risk. That's when the waves push water up onto the beach, and sometimes it can kind of pile up and get focused in areas and then all swoosh back out. And when it swooshes back out, if you're caught in that flow, you can get carried way out into the waves. So that's a rip current. What you want to do is swim next to lifeguard stands so they can keep an eye on you. And if you've got young or inexperienced swimmers, make sure you're watching them like a hawk, and little kids, really don't let them go in over your ankles. Keep them that shallow. Keep them safe. Okay, we mentioned that this is the summer solstice. Summer begins at 9:42 p.m. Tropic of Cancer. So that's where the highest point goes of the sun today, as the northern hemisphere is tilted toward the sun. So the sun is directly over the Tropic of Cancer today. After that, the sun's highest point will slowly begin to sink a little further south each day, very slowly, until when we get to the equinox, the autumnal equinox, around September 21st at noon, the sun will be directly overhead the equator. But today, on the solstice, we're at the furthest, most northern point that the sun gets in its arc across the northern hemisphere. And that also makes things quite warm as well, as we get the more direct rays of the sun here in summertime. There we go. A high temp today went to 95. Normal is 93. Record is 102, set back in 2022. Record low is 62, set on this day back in 1912. So temperatures were near normal, maybe a little bit above. Look at how hazy the sky is. The sky is not even blue on our camera, picking up a lot of Saharan dust in the atmosphere. We will see that thicken tonight and tomorrow as another plume of dust comes into southeast Texas. Not enough to cause air quality issues, but enough to notice the hazy skies. 88 in Galveston, Sugar Land is 91, Tomball is 95, Conroe is 91, and the feels like heat index temps here at 633 feels like 103 in Galveston. Tomball feels like 107, Sugar Land 100, Conroe feels like 103. In Conroe, the lake area has had a few scattered showers the past couple of hours. Very isolated shower activity, but we've had a little bit. Here's Lake Conroe. Montgomery, a shower just came across 105 a little bit. Let me zoom up to this shower here. It's a pretty good little shower up on the north side of the lake. Yeah, it's a good downpour right in here. North side of Lake Conroe, getting up into the San Jacinto National Forest, getting a drink of water. And then I see a few showers here that are now weakening as they lift north of Huntsville in Walker County, FM 1696 to the east of Beat Eyes, getting a downpour. What few little showers are out there, the models dissipate really quickly after sunset, and then by the morning, it's just a south breeze, mostly cloudy, sticky, humid summer morning, and it'll be a summer day on Saturday. Rain chances are just about 0 on Saturday. This is noon Saturday. Future track picking up nothing. And by the afternoon, future track picking up nothing, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. So not much to cool you off tomorrow. And it'll be like that Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, a 20% chance for a scattered shower. And then things are going to change in a hurry. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 60 to 70% chance for rain. These will be these daily rounds of rain where in the late morning, we'll get the showers and storms bubbling up, and they'll be heavy at times through lunchtime into the afternoon. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then they'll settle down as we head toward the evening hours. And it has everything to do with this dome of high pressure. So this is the flow in the mid and upper levels. This is the heat dome. The heat dome this weekend will park itself over the Virginias. So they'll have near triple-digit weather up here in the northeast United States today and into Monday. We're on the edge of that, and at least over the Saturday into Sunday, we're close enough to that ridge of high pressure that we're getting sinking air, and it really is going to kind of zap our rain chances and give us a hot weekend, mid-90s. But that flow will eventually see a piece of energy come around the base of that high and push a disturbance into southeast Texas. Here it is on Sunday. The disturbance is here. So Mississippi, Biloxi to New Orleans gets rain from that disturbance, the yellow area, on Sunday. And watch how this is rotating counterclockwise. So here it comes rotating in. That disturbance gives us a good chance for rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Here's what it looks like on future track. This is Monday with a good chance for scattered showers and thunder showers, again, late morning into the early to mid-afternoon. That's Monday. Tuesday, yep, another round as more energy tumbles in from around the base of that high. Wednesday, do it again. Good chance for rain and some thunder showers across the areas of South and East Texas. Thursday, again. So it's going to be a week like we had the week before, where it rained every day. That's what we're looking at as we head into next week. I kind of like that. It gives us some relief from the heat, but driving in it in our commuter-driven city, it gets to be a little tiring after a while with reduced visibility. Drought report, this was updated on Thursday. Eastern half and the middle part of the country, plenty of rain. It's a light to moderate drought across the, that's the wheat, that's the bread belt where the wheat is grown across Nebraska. Got some corn in here as well. And then you've got dry conditions in the desert Southwest. And again, it's the desert Southwest, so even for them it's abnormally dry. San Antonio area, you are a dry spot, but right now it's exceptional drought. Even though you had some very heavy rain week before last with all the wet weather we had, it really didn't improve your drought conditions too much. It certainly helped. You can see how Houston to Dallas up to Lubbock, soil moisture content is all good. Rainfall outlook generally above normal across Texas, the 26th through the 30th. So our generally wet weather pattern will continue even beyond the end of next week. And then through June 30th, that heat dome stays over the Virginias and the Carolinas, and they can have it. When that heat dome parks itself over Texas, you know, that's when we get the triple-digit heat wave weather with heat indexes into the heat advisory criteria, but not so next week and not so the 26th through the 30th. And monsoonal flow brings rain to the desert Southwest, which will help keep their temperatures a little bit below normal. Okay, to the tropics. So if we're going to get early season development, June and July, statistically it happens here, the Gulf and the Western Caribbean, because the sea surface temperatures here get warmer and the upper level winds can settle down here first early in the season. That being said, we don't expect anything for the next several days. So how many June hurricane landfalls across the Gulf have we had since 1900? Well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bonnie, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There have been 12 hurricane, not tropical storm, but hurricane landfalls in the Gulf since 1900 in June. Bonnie was the last time that the upper Texas coast and the Houston area faced a hurricane in June. That was 1986. Seniors 86, Westfield Mustangs. I always found this stat interesting. Look at the central and lower Texas coast. 1909, 1913, 1921, 1929, 1936. The early part of the 20th century, very busy in June with hurricanes across the middle and lower Texas coast. Since then, no June strikes here. And nothing brewing out here right now. And a lot of it has to do with the amount of dust that is over the Atlantic Basin. Dust stretches from the west coast of Africa all the way into the Gulf of Mexico, all the way into Texas. That's why our skies are hazy. This is what it looks like right now. And when you get the dust out there, it's a sinking, warm layer of air. It's exactly the opposite of what you need to get tropical activity going. You need rising air. So this sinking, dry, warm layer suppresses cloud and storm development, just sits on it. And that is quite common during June and July. It's one of several reasons why June and July are often quiet months during hurricane season. Now, closer to home, that is a plume of thicker dust sitting right out here over the Gulf. This is where it stands right now. The flow is going to take that right into Houston and southeast Texas tonight and tomorrow. So I expect that Saturday and Sunday we're going to have very hazy skies, especially Saturday with that plume of thicker dust coming in. It doesn't look like it's going to cause any type of air quality issue, but you will notice the very hazy, dusty skies Saturday and early Sunday. So all that being said, Hurricane Center says no development expected over the next 7 days on the Atlantic side. Now, in the Pacific, what was Hurricane Eric is gone. This is all moisture from Eric, and that will be actually pulled into the desert Southwest, in particular New Mexico. That's why they're going to be so wet the next several days as the moisture funnels up into there. And there is a new spot that we're watching. There's nothing here yet in the eastern Pacific, but the Hurricane Center says 40% chance we get a new system developing here over the next 7 days. We'll keep an eye on it, but again, this is the East Pacific. Nothing for us in the Gulf of the Caribbean or the Atlantic. We stay quiet. Saturday's numbers, hot and breezy and humid. High temp goes to 95, heat index well over 100. The extended forecast, so no rain expected Saturday, a 20% chance on Sunday, and then rain chances ramp up significantly Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Good chance for daily rounds of late morning to afternoon thunderstorms, and some of those could be quite heavy at times. Great for the yard, a mess if you have to commute in it, but that's what we're looking at as we head into another wet week of weather next week. That's where we stand. Happy Friday.